Hey there, I'm diving into a fascinating topic today, exploring how historical parallels can shape a presidency. Imagine being haunted by the ghost of a past president, influencing your every move. Well, that's what's happening with Donald Trump and his quest to end the Iran war. You see, Trump is acutely aware of the legacy of Herbert Hoover, the president who became synonymous with economic disaster after the Great Depression. Trump doesn't want to be the next Hoover, and he's vocal about it. But what does this reveal about his presidency and the challenges he faces? First, let's unpack Trump's mindset. When he says he doesn't want to be Hoover, it's not just a throwaway line. It shows his understanding of history and the weight of economic decisions. Trump grew up in a time when Hoover's name was a cautionary tale, a reminder of the consequences of inaction. This is a man who's thinking long-term, not just about his presidency but his place in the history books. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Trump isn't the first Republican president to fear the Hoover comparison. Presidents like George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan also faced this specter during economic downturns. But what sets Trump apart is the urgency he feels. With the Iran war impacting energy and inflation, he's facing a unique challenge that could define his presidency. One thing that immediately stands out is the power of historical precedent. It's like these presidents are playing a game of presidential hot potato with the Hoover label. But is this fair? In my opinion, it's a bit simplistic. Each presidency is unique, and while economic decisions are crucial, they're not the only factor in a president's legacy. What many people don't realize is that Trump is navigating a complex web of historical expectations and current challenges. If you take a step back and think about it, Trump's situation raises a deeper question: how much should a president be defined by economic circumstances beyond their control? It's a tough call. On one hand, leaders are judged by their response to crises. On the other, it's unfair to blame them for global economic trends. Personally, I think it's a delicate balance between taking decisive action and acknowledging the limits of presidential power. Now, let's talk about the Iran war. Trump's desire to end it isn't just about avoiding the Hoover label. It's a recognition that prolonged wars can have unexpected consequences. They can strain economies, shift public opinion, and shape a president's entire legacy. This is where Trump's strategic thinking comes into play. He's not just reacting, he's trying to control the narrative. But here's the twist: Trump's efforts to avoid the Hoover comparison might actually reinforce it. By focusing so much on this historical parallel, he's drawing attention to the very thing he wants to avoid. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. This raises questions about the role of historical awareness in leadership. Is it a helpful guide or a distracting obsession? In my opinion, Trump's fixation on Hoover highlights a broader trend in presidential politics. Leaders are increasingly aware of their historical image, often at the expense of present-day challenges. This can lead to a kind of legacy anxiety that influences policy decisions. What this really suggests is that we, as voters, should be mindful of how our leaders are framing their actions. Are they making choices for the good of the country or to secure their place in history? As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this: the Trump presidency, like any other, is a complex interplay of historical context and contemporary issues. While the Hoover comparison is intriguing, it's just one lens through which to view his leadership. Ultimately, it's up to us to decide whether Trump's actions are driven by a genuine desire to serve the country or a fear of becoming a historical footnote.